everyone watching or soon who will be watching to Darren and Dorothy Wright. The reason why we wanted to interview them is because they have had a had a number of successful acquisitions and one more recently of an apartment block. So the purpose is really just to inspire others to learn about your story, and that story hopefully will motivate people watching to know that they can do the same and experience similar results. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce these two, and it won't be a long chat, just to get in touch with you two, and you can share your story. So I guess the first things first, if you'd like to introduce yourselves to everyone that's watching, and just tell a little bit about what your big why is, which is like your definite major purpose in life and business, and why you got started in real estate.
Okay, do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, my big why, I guess, is for financial freedom, to build generational wealth that I can pass on to my children and grandchildren. My dad was always in real estate. I didn't realize it when we were growing up. He was always off to work and doing things. And I kind of learned that he was always in construction. He was building, creating homes and that kind of thing. So that was always my interest, to be able to do that. And I guess financial freedom, do what I want to do and not work for someone else and have them tell me what to do. And my dad is 90 years old. He'll be 90 this year in March, and he's still building his own house. So that's remarkable. Yeah, so I guess I take after him in doing in that. I started in flipping houses. That was my original thing, I love the before and after, creating something new from something old. So that's why I got started.
Yeah. We share the same views on generational wealth and freedom. We find a responsibility to look after ourselves, as own financial future, and as family, and as church and as community, to help as many people as we can. We have the knowledge now, and we know how to do it. So we want to earn money and give it back and help. I mean, we originally started to put other people's money to work on what we're doing now. But we've had so many other benefits by, we're working with a government agency to help people come off the streets and find accommodation in one of our buildings. And we've had a couple of commercial properties in there. And one of them is a food rescue store where they rescue food that's going to go to the landfill, and they fill all the food banks up first in Brandon, and then they sell it discounted at this store, and that money goes straight back into charity, into the local area to help people. So, we'd like to be part of that as well.
That's powerful. So basically, you've had some individualism and the pursuit of personal and professional growth, and it's happened so much that you started to move into poverty alleviation and other things like that, because you had the freedom to do so beyond your own needs, and you went beyond that. And it reminds me of that quote that Mother Teresa said, that the problem with the world is that we draw the circle of our family too small, and because you're not in that survival state, you're thriving and moving past that, you're able to contribute in an impactful way. So that's honorable of you too, and you're obviously making a big difference in Brandon altogether. So we'll do an internet clap for that, or for people that are going to be watching this. So well done there. And I guess we'll move on to advice, because a lot of people see what you've done as potentially daunting, or maybe even to them impossible. So what's your advice for people who want to get involved in real estate, and when they're looking at residential, single family dwellings, or even commercial or multifamily dwellings?
You want to go?
Well, I think you have to become a student of it if you're so interested. I don't think it matters if it's residential or commercial or
Mhm.
single family homes. Become a student, have someone that can mentor you, someone that you can ask questions to, and just be a sponge and just,
Yeah.
absorb it all in and see what works for you and what direction you want to go. Do you want to do multifamily, single family homes? Do you want to do flips? Whatever you want to do, just become a student and have someone that you can look up to and have as a mentor to kind of, teach you the mistakes and what not to do and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, I mean, it is a risk buying real estate, but you can minimize that risk with education. So it's an educated risk. There's so many
Yeah.
ways to earn money in real estate, and you don't know what you don't know. It's like any trade, really. You've got to do an apprenticeship. You've got to
Yeah.
learn
Yeah.
from
It's true.
someone else who knows how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you basically went to your own accelerated learning program, and you learned from people that are close to you, like as well as your father and other influences that helped you get to where you are. And I like what you said about it doesn't necessarily mean you have to only start with residential. If you have the backing or you have some guidance, you can do as well what you're doing as well. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. It just depends who's around you or in your camp. So that's a meaningful advice to others for
Yeah,
sure.
you got to use your skills. If you don't know anything about renovating a property, don't do it.
Yeah,
Pay
yeah,
somebody else to do
yeah.
it. So
Or find someone that can.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely
Better than
use your
you. Yeah.
skills. If you're good at managing a project, you do the managing. Pay somebody else to do the hard work. If you're good at doing the painting, you paint and let someone else do the managing. It's all
I like that.
possible. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like specialization with the power team. Like
yeah,
don't try to do something that you're not good at and find and bring on someone that is an expert and work together in unison with them for a common goal. And a lot of times that's what's happening in real estate. So I think some great advice for people listening and looking to get started or even just ramp it up. So we'll close on just one last, but a little bit more slightly intensive question. But tell us about your most recent apartment acquisition that you posted earlier,
Mhm.
and briefly run us through like the numbers a bit and what you can expect with the completion of the project and where you're hoping to be at the end of it.
Right. I'll let Darren answer that
He's the
question.
money
But
guy. He's the
yeah,
numbers guy. Yeah.
yeah.
um,
I do the numbers. Yeah,
yeah, he's the numbers guy. This is actually our third apartment building,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we learned a lot. When you buy your first one, it's a big learning curve. It's different from single family homes or something smaller, multifamily, triplex or duplex. So having an apartment building, it's a much more learning curve. So we have learned a lot. So this one seems easier, but I'm going to let Darren tell you all the details of that.
Okay.
um, yeah. So it's a 12-unit building. It's a good residential area, so we're able to pay more money for it. We bought it for with our partners for $1,050,000. Um, um, what's yeah, our holding costs, renovation costs, and buying costs is 250,000. So that puts us in at 1.3 million, and
Yeah.
we have an as completed appraisal of 1.7.
Nice.
Yeah, so we are able to then refinance it and birth this one, but we're
Mhm.
going to keep most of the equity in the building just because the interest rates are so high. So we want to be able to make sure it cash flows. So we always birth them and we always make sure they cash flow, and that's how we can keep going. Yeah, so
Excellent.
we have a timeline of 9 months, but we're working as
Okay.
hard as we can to condense those, just because moving tenants out, moving tenants in, and doing the renovations in between takes time. So.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, well done. That's quite a plan, and the burn numbers are working still for you, and I like that you're keeping equity in to safeguard with the interest rate. So that's smart contingency plan, and yeah, you're doing everything right there. So we're all proud of you at Teammate, and other groups are all watching you and proud of what you guys are doing and happy that you're getting, massive results. And I think if anyone would just like to connect with, these two, feel free to reach out to them and see how potentially you could even work together or do something together. And, we were talking about power teams before, so we have two people here that are doing a lot of amazing things in real estate. So I'm sure you're open to networking with people watching and even partnering if you deem fit. So it's been quite a pleasure to have you two on, during a Saturday. We really appreciate that you're taking the time. Could be doing other things, but you're doing this for everyone else. So
Yeah.
thanks about your story, and it's very inspiring. So we'll definitely stay in touch with you guys. And if you want to say bye to everyone, then we'll leave it at that. So
Thanks for
appreciate
having
everything. you do.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good-
Yeah, for our future, we have another 16-unit building under contract, and we have an
There you
even
go.
bigger project coming later this year. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
if
stay
anyone
tuned.
wants to talk to them about that, definitely reach out to these two. You can see they're hyperlinked on this live. So thanks, you two.
Awesome. Thanks, Phelan.
Yeah,
Take
thanks.
care
Good
now.
day. Bye.